Coming up on this episode of Movies You Want to Watch.
Meet the new young Hollywood that's about to take over.
You gonna say something or just stare at me?
It's an indie film that's getting some serious critical acclaim. Dope stars several up-and-coming teens with some very famous parents. Oh, and wait till you find out who scored the film. We'll give you a hint. He's a Grammy-winning artist who knows how to make his fans happy.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
That's all coming up right now in this episode of Movies You Want to Watch.
What you want.
Before they hit the theater.
You totally stopped taking the pills, didn't you?
Don't. Fantastic.
Before they win an Oscar.
Everything happened so quickly.
Watch a sneak peek at Hollywood's latest films.
Every day was exciting.
And the talent who stars in them.
I loved the story.
Movies You Want to Watch. With me, Gina Jordan. Saturdays, 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. on VVH TV.
I'm Taylor Schilling.
I'm Hillary Swank.
I'm Jason Sudeikis.
You know you wanna.
You know you wanna.
You know you wanna.
Welcome to Movies You Want to Watch. I'm your host, Gina Jordan, coming at you from our very own studio in Brooklyn, New York.
The first movie you want to watch is Dope, a coming-of-age hip-hop dramedy about a teen carefully navigating through a tough California neighborhood filled with gangsters and drugs.
I don't want to go to jail. I want to go to college.
Dope writer-director Rick Famuyiwa is best known for his films Brown Sugar and The Wood.
Y'all perfect for each other, I'm telling you, because you're both nuts.
When it came to writing Dope, Famuyiwa didn't have to look far for inspiration. The film is loosely based on his life, growing up in the rough neighborhood of Inglewood, California.
When you're growing up in a place like this, it's always a struggle between bad and worse choices, you know. Malcolm, through a series of choices he has to make, ends up in a party where a drug deal goes bad. Because he's a smart kid, he tries to figure out a different way to save his ass.
Do you have what I left in the backpack?
Did he actually say I'll kill you and your friends if you don't get rid of these drugs, or just you?
There's just little stuff like that happened to me that I look at and go, one way, left or right, I could have been in some real crazy stuff.
The cast of Dope is made up of several rising stars, including Zoe Kravitz, Quincy Brown, Tony Revolore, Shamik Moore, and Kiersey Clemens.
3 young kids, we're in a band, and we're kind of, in the hood, we're considered geeks because we're not into what everyone else is doing, which is chasing money, drugs, hoes, whatever else it may be. And we're in school. We all want to go to college. That's what we're focused on. We're focused on our music and expressing ourselves in a way that's safe and healthy and therapeutic. And we get caught up in what happens in the hood.
We don't know nothing about drugs.
We're talking about Molly. Okay, all we got to do is find the white people. Go to Coachella.
It's a modern day coming of age story about a group of kids who grew up in a rough neighborhood, but they just so happen to be like the nerds. So it tells that side of the story as far as dealing with the obstacles that you deal with living in the inner city. So these kids kind of, you know, they grow up. They grew up through crazy situations that happen every day in these, you know, rough areas.
Shamik Moore plays Malcolm, a self-proclaimed geek who's trying his hardest to overcome social class stigma and eventually escape the hood.
I relate to Malcolm on a different level. Like he lives in the hood, but he's not hood. Technically, he's just as hood.
You want 3 niggas to take a bag full of dope and a gun to the fucking police station? Like, here you go.
I just read it and dived in. I talked to my my director, Rick Famuyiwa, and I chilled with Kiersey. She plays Diggy, and Tony as well, who plays Jib. And we just came up with backstories. We sat down with the director. We said all the stuff that they've been through. These kids have grown up together. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we really painted a picture before everything that the audience will see. And then we built chemistry and we dived into the character. Who is Malcolm? What does he do? What are his habits? What is he like?
You know what a slippery slope is? I don't. Anyone?
A small event that leads to a chain reaction of events with unintended consequences that were unforeseen at the time of the inciting event.
Anybody from the hood, you can't have this image like everybody is trying to kill you, everybody is a thug, everybody, because that's not what it is. Sometimes you just grow up in a place and you have to get out of it. You have to navigate your way out of a situation, and that's what this entire movie is about.
Malcolm has to rise above some negative influences with the help of his friends, played by Kiersey Clemons and Grand Budapest Hotel star Tony Revolori.
Who are you?
I'm Zero, sir, the new lobby boy.
As fun as it was playing Zero, Revolori checked out of the Grand Budapest Hotel for his role as Jib in Dope.
Some brother really needs to invent an app like Waze to avoid all these hood traps. I played Jib, which is one of the 3 geeks that grew up in this ghetto, and he's just kind of the lighthearted one who takes everything as a joke, but when he's serious, he's extremely serious, and he gets to the point, and he's just a fantastic character to play and very interesting. He was so crazy that we actually came up, like his name is now an adjective. It's like being jibby. It's like, let's be jibby.
So there is like getting jiggy with it. Now it's being jibby.
Yeah, just being jibby. That just means you're crazy, man. Just be jibby.
Revolori is no stranger to the big screen. He co-starred in Grand Budapest Hotel alongside Ralph Fiennes, Adrian Brody, and Harvey Keitel.
Experience.
Hotel Kinski, kitchen boy, 6 months. Hotel Berlitz, mop and broom boy, 3 months. Before that, I was a skillet scrubber.
Experience 0.
In 2014, Grand Budapest Hotel received 9 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture.
It was unreal. I still actually haven't processed it, so it's kind of crazy. I'm everywhere. I'm doing so much stuff for the film, and it's great. It's just incredible, and I never thought it was going to be this great. We knew it was going to be a great film going in because we were on set and it was lovely, but you never really expect, at least I never expected this much recognition, and I'm just so fortunate and happy.
Revolori joked shooting the Grand Budapest Hotel wasn't as easy as receiving those 9 Oscar noms.
I got to meet everyone I wanted to meet. I'd probably, I haven't told this one in a while, so I'm gonna tell you this one, is getting slapped by Harvey Keitel 42 times. And he's an ex-Marine, so he doesn't pull his punches, and he's strong, and he did 5 push-ups before, or 10 push-ups before every take.
How dare he slap you 40? So you had to do 42 takes or something?
42 takes, yeah. In the blistering cold, my thing it wasn't swollen because the air was so cold, it was like instantly putting ice on it. Ray Fiennes' character, Mr. Gustav, comes out of the manhole. He's escaping, and then we hear the siren and everything, and he's escaping with all the other convicts. And so, they look at each other and say goodbye. All of Harvey's crew goes away, and he looks at me and says, "Good luck, kid," and he slaps me. Just a light, slap. It wasn't hard, but still, he's strong. And 42 times, and it was it hurt. We're at 44 now. Whenever he sees me, it's just instant slap, that's our thing now, I guess.
And look where it got you.
Look where it got me.
An Oscar for 42 slaps.
Even with all those nominations, the humble actor admitted he still had to audition for his role in Dope, just like everyone else.
I just got involved with it very, very, normally. I auditioned for the full part. Did a lot of, reads for different cast members and different people, and finally, offered the role, and I took it.
Luckily for Revolori, taking the role got him his first trip to Sundance.
This is my first Sundance.
Congratulations, you're a Sundance virgin.
Yes.
How does it feel? Like, what have you experienced on the whirlwind so far?
She's been very gentle with me, so I've been very, very happy. Very sensitive.
No slapping yet?
No.
Wait till tonight. What are your plans for this evening?
Run around like a headless chicken.
Dope revolves around 3 best friends who live in the ghetto and, as a means to stay out of trouble, have formed a band, Oreo. Actress Kiersey Clemons adds a female touch to the otherwise male-centric group.
What I love about this is that me, Tony, and Shamik, our little pack in the movie.
Malcolm's friends, Jib and Diggy, are also geeks.
To be honest, I have a male roommate, and as soon as I got the script, I was like, okay, this is a female who, even though she's lesbian and she's a tomboy, I don't think the two correlate. I don't think she's a tomboy because she likes girls. I don't think she wants to be a boy. She just happens to hang out with guys. And so she picks up what they wear. She picks up their lingo, how they talk, what they do. The same way that you wear what your friends wear and you pick up the things that they do. And so I talked to my roommate and I had him read the lines to me just to see how, I didn't study more so how he said things, but the words that he put emphasis on and his body language when he would say things and when he would laugh. Like when I laugh, I do this. Guys don't do that.
So unless you got some boobies,
what? Like boys don't cry. Remember we were saying that?
I was really connected to it because I think it's really important for women to see that. I think a lot of young girls that are going through that, deciding specifically which sex they're into, male or female, I think it's really nice for them not to feel like they have to identify with a sex when it comes to how they dress or how they speak, because the two don't necessarily go together. We're not being exposed to what's going on and how people get caught up in that. All we hear is that, once you're in the hood, it's hard to get out. But it's like, what does that mean? Why can't you get out? Because a lot of people are ignorant to it. And it's like, why can't we what do you mean they can't get out? All they have to do is do good in school and stay away from gang activity and go to college.
Say that.
But there's so much more to it.
Someone says, like, follow your dream. Well, some people can't.
You literally you can try, but there's so many things distracting you.
Lemon says it wasn't easy avoiding that typical ghetto stereotype.
We're really good kids, and if you know us on the inside in the film, you know what we're into and you know we're good kids and our aspirations, but from the outside looking in, people just think, oh, these are kids that got in trouble in the hood and they're typical. And it's really nice to see that there's layers to everyone. And I think it's going to be really inspirational. I can't wait for people that are in, those positions to see it.
If you're expecting a fairy tale ending, Clemens says you're in for a surprise. The film takes a more realistic approach.
They do the best they can. It's very real. You're going to get a very real ending. It's not going to be a fairy tale ending. And it's kind of like a life goes on type of ending. It's kind of like you did that. These are the consequences of what happened. It shows a view of how everyone in our school sees us after all of these things happen. It's real. It's very honest. And I think that's what's important. The movie doesn't just end with us, getting rid of the drugs and then, we go to college and everyone lived happily ever after. It's a very honest ending, and I think that's really important. I'm so happy Rick wrote it that way.
Dope and transparent aren't the only ways you can catch Clemens on screen. The 21-year-old also stars in MTV's Eye Candy.
It's with Victoria Justice, and she's our leading lady, and I play her roommate and her best friend, and it's basically about this girl who I signed Victoria up for a dating app like Tinder, and I give her the name Eye Candy, and she goes on dates with these guys, and then immediately after she ends up being stalked. So she has to figure out, is my stalker one of my friends? Is my stalker one of these guys that I'm dating? And all of us we play our parts.
To freedom.
So we get dragged into it, and as we're kind of each other's family, because I don't have a relationship with my family. Her sister got kidnapped, and she doesn't have, her mother died, so we're each other's family. So it's like at the end of the day, my loyalty for her comes before anything, my life, everything.
So there's no way that you're going to be the best friend for long. Leading lady, right here.
You know what? We have a great ensemble cast, so I enjoy being the best friend to Victoria.
Still to come, we go one-on-one with actor Blake Anderson. The new daddy tells us what life's like on Mars.
I'm trying to be best dad in the world.
Don't move. Movies You Want to Watch will be right back.
You know you wanna.
Picture perfect. LG Ultra HD TV.
Welcome back to this episode of Movies You Want to Watch. I'm Gina Jordan, and we're going to continue to bring you the Sundance Film Festival red carpet premiere of a movie you want to watch, Dope.
William Ian Sherwood III, musician, scholar, rake, entrepreneur, conspiracy theorist.
Dope stars funny man Blake Anderson as Will.
You can call me N-word,
and I can't say it.
You may recognize Blake's infamous long locks from his eccentric role as Blake Henderson in Comedy Central's hit series, Workaholics.
What are you guys doing?
We want to buy some weird so that we can put it in a bear and sneak it.
Workaholics season 5, it's pretty much a lot of the same, just us 3 guys going crazy and getting into a bunch of trouble. But yeah, we actually wrapped last night at like 11. I got on the plane at 7 a.m. and I'm running.
So you really are on Molly's then.
In Dope, Anderson plays Will, a drug dealer. He says it was simple why he chose to take on the role. It was fun.
It's just about like a standard day in Inglewood that just really goes awry. It's pretty fun. It's it's a lot of like up and coming, like how to make it in a band, and then the drug game. It's got everything. It's got drama. It's got sex. It's got violence. Everything I love.
Just say the damn word. You're my.
It was a reflex.
Did you have the same vibe in the film? Like, are you with the long hair and?
Yes, and no mustache, which is rare for me. So this is my first time on film without the mustache. So wish me luck.
Have you been here before?
This is actually my first time ever.
You're a virgin. Yeah. You're their Sundance virgin. You've been de-virginized. Now I heard you didn't really start the day with margaritas though, did you?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
What flavor?
Just standard issue. I think the flavor's Cadillac. I'm not sure. Is that the flavor you would call it, Cadillac?
If it goes down smooth.
It was Cadillac.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you going to the Rolling Stone party? Are you going to hit some of the parties at your first?
I'm trying to hit as many parties as they'll let me in.
This famous partygoer has played a long list of offbeat comedic characters, but his favorite role so far? Well, that's playing new daddy to his out-of-this-world baby girl, Mars.
Do you have children?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have children?
Yes, I have one. I have a daughter.
Do you?
Yeah,
How old?
she's 10 months.
I don't know how you do with a little baby at home.
Yeah,
Do you diaper change? Are you the?
Oh hell yeah!
Do you do it all?
That's the best part.
So you do binky change, diaper change? What else?
You name it, I'm there. Super dad. I'm trying to be best dad in the world. Universe.
Being the best daddy in the universe to little Miss Mars means no sleep.
Dude, look at these eyes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But it's awesome.
But you're here and you're making it happen.
I am.
She's going to be so proud of you in this film, right?
Hope so.
No, this is not something that your daughter is going to be able to watch, right?
Not yet, no.
This is a R-rated.
It is. If it isn't Yo Gabba Gabba, we're not watching. Okay? Or Little Mermaid.
Hey, wait. I am the authority.
Blake's co-star Alan Maldonado plays, well, Alan in Dope.
You know what a slippery slope is? I don't. Anyone?
The 32-year-old has been featured in several action films, including Live Free or Die Hard and The Equalizer opposite Denzel Washington.
Hey, we better know what you did before you got here for a living.
I was a pip. You know, like Gladys Knight and the Pips. Oh.
Alan is one of several up-and-coming actors in Dope, and we decided to give him the royal treatment.
Do you mind if you're going to talk about the film. Can I clean your glasses for you?
Sure.
You need them clean.
Coming of age story. Look, she's going to work. Coming of age story. Thank you so much, man. All right, you are.
Tell us the premise of the film. Do you mind if I use your
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just as you're looking into the thing. All right, so you
It's
tell us
everything.
about the film.
Okay. Well, the film. Man, see, I love her.
In Dope, Maldonado's character, Alan, is on a mission to bring down Malcolm and his entourage.
I play a club promoter who doesn't like the kids, and anytime that I see them, I just clown them. I just hit them with nothing but jokes, and I try my best to just bring them down as far as what they're doing with their particular style, because it's so out of the ordinary.
For Alan, the story behind Dope hit close to home. He says he turned to the arts to stay out of trouble.
Me coming from a rough area, I can definitely relate to that. But I grew up in Rialto, California, in the vineyards. I know my boys out there. What's up? But it was an area where it was rough, but for me, it wasn't. Because I kind of knew all the people that were dangerous, so to speak, so it never really came my way. And it was fun. I partied. I was a dancer, and it was one of those things where I wasn't involved with the gangs, but I knew I was close to the people that were involved. And this is what the story is similar to. It's that side of the story that you don't have to be involved with the things to grow up in these areas. It just surrounds you, and sometimes you may get in the mix of it, but that doesn't influence you to be different.
Still to come, we have 2 up-and-coming Hollywood newbies with very famous daddies. And guess which New York rapper makes his acting debut in Dope? We've got the answer when we come back.
Get
Picture perfect. LG Ultra HD TV.
Welcome back to this episode of Movies You Want to Watch. I'm Gina Jordan, and we're going to continue to bring you the Sundance Film Festival red carpet premiere of a movie you want to watch, Dope.
All I want to do is a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Word. Dope features another up-and-coming face. You may recognize her rock star daddy. Yeah, that's Lenny Kravitz, and his daughter Zoe plays Nakia in Dope.
So you gonna ask me to dance or what?
The 26-year-old hit the Hollywood scene back in 2010. When she starred in the film It's Kind of a Funny Story, opposite Zach Galifianakis.
Not like everyone else with their stupid little problems. I mean, you're really, really screwed up.
Kravitz has evolved tremendously since then, starring in a slew of action films, including X-Men, First Class, and the Divergent trilogy, alongside Shailene Woodley.
Grab the rail. Or done.
Let me remind you, she calls Lenny Kravitz daddy, so it's no surprise that in addition to acting, Zoe also takes on the role of musician. In 2014, Kravitz formed the band Lola Wolf, named after her younger siblings, and has since joined forces with Dope co-star A$AP Rocky. For her most recent role, Ms. Kravitz left behind the superpowers and dropped the mic to play Nakia in Dope.
Well, I'll go if you go. Dope for me was, it was like a, it was a passion project. I read the script and I thought it was so intelligent and so funny that I was just kind of like, I don't know, people are going to get this, and you never know how film's gonna turn out, but I was like, if this film turns out the way it reads, it's just gonna be so on point.
All I want to do is a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
What I loved about the script so much for me was like seeing, a black film or like black people portrayed in a different way, and what I think a more honest way, and it talks about things that make people a little bit uncomfortable, and then it's also funny. But people, I think, are ready and hungry to hear something and see something different when it comes to black culture, specifically in cinema.
Kravitz isn't the only cast member with a famous daddy. Can you guess which music mogul Quincy Brown calls dad?
What if my son stares with a face like my own and says he wants to be like me when he's grown?
That's right, Sean P. Diddy Combs is Quincy Brown's father. His mom is Kim Porter. Brown is just the first of 5 kids to follow in Diddy's famous footsteps.
Stay a while. That's what I told you. You was leaving, you came back.
Now, if you don't recognize Brown's music, you may have caught him co-hosting a charity kickball event alongside artist Chris Brown.
With everything, it's all about giving back.
Philanthropy and music must run in the family, because in 2012, Quincy released his R&B debut song, Stay a While.
Head down, smile, smile, stay a while.
In Dope, Brown portrays a character named Jaleel, the overprivileged son of a local kingpin who has dreams of making his own music.
I play the character Jaleel. The 3 kids, they somehow get a hold of this mysterious package that they don't know what to do with, and you know, they need to take it somewhere. You know, they feel it's dangerous in their hands, and you know, they go to take it to somebody, and it's not who they thought it was. They thought it was going to be it's supposed to be my dad. But my dad ain't nowhere to be found, so they run to me, and then I bring him into my life, let him know who I am, you know. But I'm looking at them real like, you know, like, who are y'all? Like, why are y'all at my house? And they say this one little thing that just, you know, makes sense. And I'm like, oh, come in, let me show you my lifestyle. Bring them to the studio, and then, you know, one of the kids ends up falling in love with my sister, and that's a little problem. So,
You play with me, my little boy from the hood?
yeah. Rick did a great job, you know, of capturing what real life, you know, what goes on, and translating it into film that makes it make sense, but real, believable, and still something that can, you know, live on for 10, 20 years, just like the film he did, The Wood, you know. You know, one of these is like, kids pay attention a lot, you know, and nowadays with everything that's going on, whether it's the drugs, whether it's the sex, whether it's the money, everything that goes on, you know, when kids can see it on screen, and then really can relate to it, you know, back in life, that's gonna really kind of like be the bold point about it all, just because people are gonna realize that this is like something that the generation needs, just because it's put in a way that what really goes on in the young minds that are, I mean, from like 15 to like 24. You know what I mean? It's just like a great translation of what really, really goes on.
Just because Diddy is your dad doesn't mean getting the role in Dope came easy. Quincy says he did have to audition for Dope.
You know, being out in Hollywood, just on the grind, you know, going to auditions, of course.
One of the biggest stars in the film, the soundtrack. Quincy says that was one of the first things that attracted him to the project.
I got the script, right when I got the email, I saw Pharrell's name written. So immediately I was like, oh, like, what is this, you know?
Yes, that's the Pharrell Williams. The 11-time Grammy winner is also executive producer on Dope and even scored 4 new tracks for the film's fictitious band, REO.
He scored the hell out of this movie. Yeah, he between you know, the music selection that he wanted to put in that are like, you know, previously historic, iconic songs, or with the original pieces that he created, you know, for the kids, absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? And for Pharrell to be so dope, no pun intended, and so such a character, you know, and to really like look at these kids and then almost like feel what they feel, and you know, he just created something as if he was one of them, which I thought was just, you know, fantastic.
All right, guys, quick side note, Pharrell, Diddy, and Lenny Kravitz all worked together on the 2012 track, Show Me Your Soul.
Did
you get to meet Pharrell?
Yeah, we're in the studio.
Cute, he's tiny. He's a tiny guy.
He's a quiet guy, but hey, he's a genius. You know, I know many people can say that, but he really is.
Zoe, Quincy, and Pharrell aren't the only musicians contributing to the film. Rapper A$AP Rocky also makes his acting debut in Dope as Dom, a drug dealer who sends Malcolm and his crew into a downward spiral.
He probably got like one of them photogenic brains.
You mean photographic memory?
What'd I just say?
I mean, yeah, you said it. Yeah. Reiterating.
There was no casting couch for Rocky, who auditioned while he was on tour overseas.
I really love this. I want to be a part of it. So he calls up and is like, I want to come in and audition for the movie. And he came in and he was on tour in London, and he put himself on iPhone and sent an audition on his iPhone. That's the way it's done nowadays. Yeah, he did an iPhone audition, and it was amazing. He just, even through that small screen, he was able to sort of project an honesty, a charisma, and a sort of a heart that I felt like his character really needed.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This A$AP Rocky here, and I starred in a new movie, Dope.
He's a natural, and I think has a bright future. His acting is what he wants to focus on.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Malcolm Adekambi.
Dope is a movie you want to watch, and it hits theaters June 19th.
That's going to do it for this episode of Movies You Want to Watch. Now, if you love movies as much as we do, then log on to our website at moviesyouwantowatch.com for exclusive celebrity interviews and updates on films before they even hit the theater. I'm Gina Jordan. Thanks so much for watching. You know you wanna.